Hogwarts Legacy was one of the most anticipated games in years. A lot of Harry Potter fans, including myself, were wringing their hands over what game we'd be getting. As big of a Harry Potter fan as I am, even having a Harry Potter tattoo, I never got into the experience of the previous games made. It was too tied to the movies rather than the Hogwarts experience I dreamt of as a kid. The idea of running around the school grounds, exploring, competing for the House Cup, and attending classes. So I was trying to temper my expectations for this game. Avalanche Software had never made a AAA game before. The development cycle was through COVID too, which set up multiple delays. Yet when they would show previews, the game looked too good to be true. It looked to be a game of every Harry Potter fan's dreams, where you get to explore Hogwarts and immerse yourself in a world that you imagined in your head for years. When fans finally got their hands on it, I'd say that most were very pleased. Hogwarts Legacy's success as a game is not because it does anything revolutionary, but instead it's because it does a good job in many areas. Most importantly, it excels in one area: the setting. Setting is an overlooked aspect of games. It's something we notice when it's not done well, when worlds are barren or fail to pull us in. But when they're done well, we sort of just accept that they were supposed to be that way. Hogwarts Legacy nails the setting of Hogwarts and Hogsmeade, while expanding the area around it to make it feel like it was always a part of the wizarding world. Setting is a bit broad of a term, but to me, the most important aspects of a video game setting are the mise-en-scene, the sound, NPCs, and the exploration. I think when you have an action-adventure open-world game like this, NPCs become part of the design to immerse you in the world.
Simplify things. Never seemed to work that way for me.
Just because you know Lumos doesn't mean you can't get lost.
The bells are ringing and Black is most annoyed. Thank you again for your help.
When a game executes this well, it gives you a better sense of the world by understanding who inhabits that world. It's easy to say that people love this game because of the world the game is set in, but it takes a lot of work to nail that setting, especially when it's a setting for a world that you know will get a lot of fans to nitpick every single detail they admit or get wrong. In order for the setting to win fans over, they had to knock it out of the park.
And Peeves wins the House Cup!
To maximize the magical experience, pun intended, you must disable all of the HUD, or most of it, as soon as possible. This changes how you view the graphics in the game itself. I turned off all of my HUD for gameplay recording, and it amazed me how much more cinematic things look. It's easy to forget doing that when you are almost always encouraged to have a bunch of things on your screen. Mise-en-scene is usually a term reserved for theater or film. It relates to set design, or in film, what we see on the camera. Everything that builds that world. In video game terms, I'd go with what is placed in that world around us and how it is placed. Think of textures, colors, item placement, lighting, space, and attire. Hogwarts Legacy absolutely nails the attire of the students, professors, and other wizards and witches you'd encounter. The look of the characters is a good mix of the movies and the books. The arrangement of Hogwarts Castle itself is terrific. Avalanche Software does such a good job of making the castle feel familiar, but also gives you a sense of mystery. I think of the touch of the moving staircases, for example. It separates itself from the movie version that we're so familiar with. The artwork around the castle, the setup of the rooms, and the mood of the castle, based on where you are or the time of day, makes me feel like the castle is alive. Hogsmeade shops have such a nice charm to them. When I enter the Three Broomsticks, I feel like it's a place I would hang out in. It feels lively and popular during the day, and a bit more dead at night, like it would actually feel like. There's an important balance that needs to be struck with these shops and the outside area. Need them to feel lived in without becoming overbearing. I love the performance that you find around the area and the ability to tip them. I love petting the cats. Games excel when they add little elements you never thought you'd ask for, but once you see them, you wouldn't want them to be taken away. This is present in so many of the shops around Hogsmeade. What you can interact with really helps define how that shop is different. Flutes and Loots allows you to change music, and it really helps make you feel so cozy, while it captivates you with a pleasant song. Soundco's gives you a sense of wonderment at what sort of toy or prank device will be sold there. It allows you to interact with different prank toys, and allowing that interactivity really shows off the whimsical nature of that shop. Harry Potter movies were known for having a great score, so it was a tall task to live up to that for this game. They could have easily reused music from the movies here, but they didn't. It's astounding how they were able to create original scores that feel right at home. Scores that feel cinematic. My favorite is Everybody Grab a Brew.
Success.
There's a beautiful build-up that reminds me of this score from Sorcerer's Stone. It honestly made me a bit teary and overwhelmed with emotion. Nerd! I'm finally playing a game that I dreamt of for decades. What Hogwarts Legacy manages to do with its score is only part of what makes the sound really stand out. The chatter from NPCs as you explore the world is fantastic.
Goblins had no prospect of success.
I created a few in theory myself quite some time ago.
NPC voice acting can easily be an oversight. In movies, you may have extras speaking to settle us into the scene or give us some much needed info. In a video game, you need that chatter to fill the world and make it feel alive. A look into the sound for this game would be incomplete without talking about the sounds of the spells.
Expelliarmus. Alohomora. Reparo. Wingardium Leviosa.
The sound when you cast these spells feels so natural. Almost every Harry Potter fan has pretended to cast a spell. Nerd! So like other aspects of the game, it's competing with our imaginations, and once again, it exceeds expectations. NPCs play a huge role in games like Hogwarts Legacy. They fill the world and give us a better understanding of our character. The placement of the students along the castle grounds and inside the castle itself seems very simple on the surface, but there's an important balance that must be struck in order for you to get a sense that the world is alive. Take for instance the common room. I'll use Slytherins as an example. There's a space for you to explore, and it's accompanied by students leading you through the areas that you should be exploring, to draw you into that area, and then push you in a certain direction of where to explore. You won't get an NPC in every part of the castle or the Hogsmeade shops, but you will get them where they make sense, which is something that isn't exactly easy to do. The paths of these NPCs need to feel spaced out and make sense to the world. Though you are unable to play Quidditch in this game, it's nice to see the pitch populated by students. As you explore the castle, you'll see NPCs doing various things in between aspects they want you to take a moment and check out. A good setting makes you interested in what is behind every corner. When you point your camera at different parts of the world, something tends to catch your eye, and because there's so much richness and depth to the world, you know that exploring it will lead to something. When you go to places like the trophy room, it feels like you're in the first movie. You're there with Harry, finding his dad's name on the Quidditch House Cup. Set yourself up in the Great Hall for a grand feast. The beauty of exploration is the payoff. And the payoff here is that it fulfills your dream of having an explorable world that is very accurate to the books. Hogwarts Legacy exceeds expectations solely due to its execution of setting. It is not a revolutionary game. Its gameplay and quests don't break the mold. Its story doesn't reach greater heights. But none of that matters, because they gave us a brilliant setting. Just like the books, this is a world that I will keep returning to. If you have a location in this game that really stood out to you, list it in the comments. I'd love to read all about it. Thanks for watching.